Discuss what day trading is, why it can be toxic, and why long-term investments may be more manageable.
Every day, we don't play, here to stay, we here to stay, concentrate, anticipate, it's okay,
Hello, my crypto juggernauts and family. Welcome to the Mx3 Crypto Report, your destination for relevant crypto information when you need it the most. My name is Michael, and we have Mike, and we have Mark as our co-host for today. Thank you for tuning in, and as per usual, please subscribe, give us a like, hit that notification button, and leave a comment. We appreciate your support as we continue to give you more valuable content. All right, now let's head over to the crypto news segment for today. On October 13th, 2021, a crypto investor lost $430,000 in a failed Ethereum transaction. This occurred at the end of a token sale on the Ethereum network. According to an article on Bitcoin-trading.io, there was a lot of excitement around the Strips project in a run-up to the token sale. The sale of the token was almost instantaneous. They sold out in 6 seconds with only 14 addresses receiving tokens. A user wanted to participate in the sale of Strip tokens on the MISO owned by SushiSwap. One user decided to use Flashbots to gain an advantage. Flashbots is a protocol for connecting users with Ethereum miners. It lets you bribe the miners so that the user's transactions can be added to the blockchain faster. This gives them an advantage in the highly competitive sale of tokens, but this time something must have gone wrong. The transactions in Flashbots is supposed to remain confidential until it is included in the blockchain. But this time it went straight to the mempool, which is where all the valid transactions wait to be confirmed by the Bitcoin Ethereum, by the Ethereum network, So where it was quickly received and processed by one of the miners. Because the token sale was done too quickly, the user's transactions was not executed. As a result, he didn't receive any tokens at all, but paid 123 ETH, which again is $430,000 in fees. Wow. Mike, what do you think about this predicament?
Well, I have to tell you, I cringe because 430,000. That's just mind blowing, and he's got nothing in return. So I'm hoping this guy is okay because most of us would be living in a cardboard box by now. So, but again, on this platform, it's one of those things where you just don't know what you don't know, and I'm assuming that was just a one-off. I'm hoping that's a one-off because hopefully nobody else will be losing money that way.
I'll tell you what, after this type of scenario, mental health is real, man. Mental health is real. Mark, what's your opinion on this piece?
$430,000 lost. I could buy a really nice house with that money.
And a car and a few other things.
Yeah.
You can buy that new Tesla phone that's coming out too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, you could. I mean, 430,000, the guy's got to be really crying right now. I mean, there's no recourse for him to be able to get that money back. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty hard blow to take.
Yeah,
absolutely. Ethereum fees are getting really high with little signs of cooling down. Unless changes can be made with the ETH 2.0, I would take extreme caution, trying to make these type of transactions. Awesome. So let's move on to our next segment. Okay, so we're going to discuss what day trading is, why it can be toxic, and why long-term investments may be more manageable. First, let's define day trading. What is day trading? According to popular consensus, day trading, also known as intra trading, it is one of the strategies used in both the stock and the crypto market. It means buying and selling cryptocurrency on the same day. The purpose behind day trading is to reap the benefits by price movements during the same day. For example, before the market closes. Interestingly, the crypto markets open 24/7 all year round, and traders have the ability to buy and sell without limits as the markets do not close. You know, the New York Exchange, also known as NASDAQ, is open from, 9:30 to 4 p.m. So that's one thing I like about the crypto currency exchange, because it's open 24/7. So, you can go in there and make trades as much as you want. So guys, does that definition of day trading make sense? Starting with you, Mike.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense because it's similar in the same regard as day trading. If you're day trading stocks and bonds and different things like that, if you're not looking to do a long-term strategy, which obviously these folks are, and you actually have the intestinal fortitude for that, then more power to you. Because from what I can understand, from what I see, it's volatile, but it seems to be a bit more profitable than the normal type of day trading.
Absolutely. How do you feel about that too, Mark?
The day trading is, I'm familiar with day trading from the stock market, here in the stock market realm. So I have a pretty good idea of day trading. For some reason, I kind of zoned out there. I was thinking about day walkers. But I was...
There you go.
Hey, man, I feel you.
Watching too much Blade.
Too much Blade, right.
Yeah. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, well, yeah, I'm familiar with day traders from the stock realm.
Absolutely. And that's definitely something that we're going to go and talk more into more detail in our next episode. But awesome. Let's get more into the meat of this. So some toxic effects and things one should be aware of, when day trading. So one of those things are market volatility. Volatility is a statistical measure of the dispersion of returns for a given security or market index. In most cases, the higher the volatility, the riskier the security. It describes periods of unpredictable and sometimes sharp price movements. The opposite of a volatile market would be a stable one. One should exercise great caution when joining new markets or projects that haven't shown signs of stability. These types of crypto projects may result in market volatility. Now, another point is day trading may affect your health and well-being. Stress, depression, and anxiety from price movement are common if one is not fully prepared for the task. Gains and losses on day trading are subject to taxes, just as gains and losses on other investment income. Usually gains from day trading are considered short-term and are taxed at higher rates. Have you guys heard about that? Mike, have you heard about that?
Yes, I have. Apparently, taxing the lower and middle class in terms of fiat is just not enough for this government.
Uncle Sam,
gotta have those hands in everything, and it just started. Now we're talking about what are we looking at? 10 plus years of crypto, and now that it's become viable, and as a matter of fact, that kind of lends a lot of legitimacy to crypto.
Absolutely.
So it's just one of those things where you just have to roll with it. You have to adjust. You have to make those adjustments, and you have to adjust your strategy in terms of investing.
Yeah, it's really interesting because these are the same officials that were saying that it's a scam. They're trying to cop something off these people, but now that they're seen as profitable, they want the biggest share. They want the biggest piece of the pie, which is quite interesting. Mark, what do you think about that too?
I think the volatility, it reminds me of the early days of the stock market. I'm not sure about when, but I think about in the, I don't know if it's the 1920s when they had that big Great Depression, the big stock market crash,
right?
Where so many people lost everything and people were jumping out of windows, and it reminds me of that. But the volatility in cryptocurrency, there's still a wide range where you can be a crypto millionaire overnight. One day you could be a regular person, the next day you're a crypto millionaire. So I think the potential in cryptocurrency is great, and I think that we're in the early stages. I think some people call it the wild, wild west of the crypto market.
I love that word.
But that just speaks to the potential of the crypto market.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome. And there's one more term that I want viewers to be observant of, and that is whales. Whales in the market. Whale manipulation is another big factor to consider. Whales within the crypto space are individuals who hold a large number of coins of a particular cryptocurrency. Due to a large number of coins in their possession, they become powerful enough to manipulate the valuation of a specific cryptocurrency. Whale movement is a simple signal that can have a colossal effect on the price of cryptocurrency, depending on the size, magnitude, and source and destination of the transaction. Okay, guys? Awesome. So we'll definitely talk more about this on our next episode. But right now, we're going to jump into Did You Know with Mike. So, Mike, I'm going to let you take over.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everybody. So let's take a step back and imagine that you've decided to take on giant governments and hugely powerful central banks worth trillions by creating a currency to eliminate their business and control. Did you know this was the result of the creation of Bitcoin by the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto? This pseudonym this pseudonym for the creator or creators of Bitcoin. Satoshi was very careful only to interact with others through PGP encryption so that his, her, or their identity was always kept a total secret. After seeing others who have tried to create their own form of online currency but get essentially hunted down by the government, Satoshi decided it was best to stay pseudonymous. There were many attempts to create an online currency, but each failed for one reason or another until Bitcoin was created. Before the Bitcoin era, in 1990, David Chaum applied the idea of blind signatures to money. In 1996, e-gold slowly built a successful operation through the 90s. In 1998, Benz was a currency created to incentivize specific behaviors in users. In 1999, Flows.com had a similar name and similar model to Benz. In 1999, InternetCash.com had a monetary system based on prepaid cards. And in 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto published the Bitcoin white paper. There have been many attempts to unmask this person, all of which so far have been unsuccessful. Everyone has their own theory, so some think that Satoshi Nakamoto was actually a group of cryptographers, developers, and more, but we may never know. One thing is for sure, Satoshi Nakamoto was a freaking genius who single-handedly created the most important technology related to money in the last 2,000 years. Now, let's talk about what Bitcoin actually is.
So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a revolutionary technology that enables a new way to send payments over the internet. You can think of it as an open accounting system where thousands of computers all over the world work together to track ownership of digital tokens called Bitcoins. When you send someone Bitcoins, the transaction is broadcast to the entire network. After it's verified, it's recorded in a public ledger called the blockchain. The blockchain contains a record of every Bitcoin transaction that has occurred since the system began, and it's shared and maintained on the network, so everyone keeps the books, so to speak. Most currencies are issued by a central authority that controls the money supply. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer system, so there is no central authority. Instead, Bitcoins are issued to users who help process transactions in the network. This is known as Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin miners are specialized computers that do the work required to verify and record transactions in the blockchain. As a reward for their work, the miners earn Bitcoins, and this is how new Bitcoins are released into circulation. The system is programmed so that only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist, and as time goes by, the mining reward decreases. The result is a predictable supply that's governed by scarcity, making Bitcoin somewhat like a digital gold. It's the first currency of the internet, and everyone is free to use it. With Bitcoin, you can send any amount of money to anyone, anywhere in the world, as easily as sending an email.
Now let's separate the terms Bitcoin and blockchain during our next episode. Back to you, Michael.
Awesome. Great stuff, Mike. We really appreciate you going through that for us.
Absolutely.
And now, awesome. Yeah. And now we're going to move to our next segment with Mark. So, Mark, why don't you take the wheel on this one?
Okay. Thanks, Mike. I actually have a few questions from the crypto community that people are just asking a few questions. They're really curious. And I have the first question coming in. It says, there's so much talk in the crypto community about NFTs. What exactly is an NFT?
Awesome. That's a really good question. And according to the time that we're in right now, this is the really big thing that's going on in the crypto universe. So according to Wikipedia, an NFT is an acronym for a non-fungible token. Once again, that's a non-fungible token. A non-fungible token is a unique and non-interchangeable unit of data stored on a digital ledger, which we'll go into more deeper next time. NFTs can be used to represent easily reproducible items such as photos, videos, audio, and other types of digital files as unique items, and use blockchain technology to establish a verified and public proof of ownerships. And that is really key. And we will go into that further on the next episode.
Hey, that's good information, Michael.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Mike?
Well, yeah, actually, that is a very unique space. When I started becoming aware of NFTs, my first thought was, is this a here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing? Because we see it all the time. But so far, what I've seen, I've seen this thing grow. I've seen this thing catch fire. I've seen the creativity in people, the things that they're creating, the types of NFTs they're creating are becoming more and more creative. And you know something's a big hit when Elon Musk, gets into the ring. So yeah. I think this is definitely something that can be whatever you want, long term or short term. But either way, you have the potential to make a lot of money in this space.
Absolutely. And if I may add, you know what, Mike? Yeah, I saw some of these cats doing this whole crypto monkey, crypto punk, all these things that they were doing. I was just like, look, man, I'm not really going to enjoy. And then I came back about a couple of weeks later and I saw this 13, 14-year-old make $14 million, $20 million. And I was like, you know what? You're not going to beat me out to this time. And so I jumped in and I just went crazy. So, probably do your research. But
definitely.
Probably don't want to miss the boat on these type of things because especially what they're doing with this whole metaverse stuff and kind of making everything interchangeable. Yes. A lot of this NFT technology will be tied into the metaverse. So you guys might want to do a lot of research into this, especially the viewers. Yeah,
absolutely.
Nice. That's good information to know.
Absolutely.
Okay, next question. News shows are reporting that the value of Bitcoin is skyrocketing. Is now a good time to invest in Bitcoin?
Absolutely. That's a good question. It depends on what type of trade or interaction one has with the coin. Personally, if I were to buy Bitcoin, I would put it in for the long run as a long-term investment. I would, wait for a dip and buy at previous support lines. We'll talk about that later. And if I were to sell, I would wait until it's like in a pump scenario. But really, it just comes down to the person getting their feet wet. I want the person to get their feet wet and, always experience that. So probably dollar cost averaging, which is kind of just buying a little bit here and there and just trying to get yourself engulfed in the experience, and kind of letting that be a greater gateway for more experience within the crypto universe. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Think, Mike?
Yeah, I have to agree 100%. Bitcoin being the granddaddy, that's the coin that, it's shown its stability. It's gone through a lot of bear and a lot of bull markets, and it continues to rocket. And again, I have to point this out. When you start seeing the big players, the Elon Musk and the corporations, the Citibanks and all of these getting into that space after, they've kind of condemned it, it lends a lot of legitimacy to it. And to be honest with you, my strategy for the most part is like the old saying goes, the key to investing is buy low, sell high. So when things go down, I don't look at that as a bad thing. I look at that as an opportunity to fill my bags even more. So that's my take on it.
So for the young investor that may be just starting out, Bitcoin right now is right around $60,000, the value of it. So there's some people may be thinking, well, they may need $60,000 in order to invest in Bitcoin. Is that true, or can they jump in a little bit lower?
Oh, that's a good question. Mike, you want to have this one, or you want me to have it?
Sure, I'll take it. In terms of having to buy and remember, that's $60,000 a coin. Now, the difference between cryptocurrency and fiat currency, you can actually buy percentages or measures of crypto. You don't have to buy the entire coin, because when I first started investing, I bought my first crypto with $50. So I bought a portion of a coin. So I think that's the first thing that people have to understand. You can literally buy a dollar's worth. So you don't have to have all that money to be able to invest. That's the beauty of it. That's one of the biggest advantages to me that it has over fiat.
100% agree. 100% agree.
Nice. Good information to know.
So did you fork out that whole 60 mark, or you just bought some portions too?
I just bought some portions. 60 is a little bit out of my reach.
Just a little. Just a little.
Just a little bit. Yeah, just about 59,000.
Let it ride, and it won't be anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll plan to. Next question. Now, I think this is going to be my last question.
Okay.
What advice would you give the average person who is interested in investing in cryptocurrency, but have no idea where to start or how to get started?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, you guys know where you are. First and foremost, I would have you subscribe to our channel, because we provide useful information for people starting out all the time. So guys, when get your friends, get your family, your loved ones. If you care about them and want them to have this information, we plead with you to have them subscribe and tune into the channel. Okay, secondly, I would start simple, by getting some fractions of Bitcoin, like how Mike said. And since it's the most widely available crypto on most trading platforms and exchanges, why not? Get some Bitcoin, And, dollar cost average in the Bitcoin, put a little in there every month, like Susu or savings, and just kind of let it ride, and get your feet wet at the end of the day. That's my take on it.
Nice. What do you think, Mike?
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Always start. If you don't know that much, always start with the basics. There are platforms out there like Michael just mentioned that are safe, that are stable. And like he said, you can do fractions until you get, a comfort level. But also in that process, just continue to educate yourself. Educate yourself on what it is, all the platforms, all the different options and different things like that. And the more you go, the more you learn, the more confidence you gain, and the better you are.
So do due diligence.
Absolutely.
Do research for yourself. In any particular cryptocurrency exchange that they should look at, or any particular websites they should go to? And
yeah, that's a good question. If I may take this one, I think Coinbase is widely known, widely accepted, one of the biggest trading platforms for cryptocurrency, centralized exchange. So it does have that 911 button in case you lose some funds that they can insure for you, and kind of it's a good place for you to begin, get your feet wet, and kind of explore a little bit. So that would be an exchange that I'd recommend for somebody starting out.
Nice. What do you think, Mike? Same exchange, Coinbase, or someplace else?
Well, honestly, that's where I started. I started on Coinbase. I mean, that's kind of the exchange 101. Like Michael said, they've been out there for a long time. They're established. They're well established. You can start using just regular Coinbase. When you progress up, they also have a Coinbase Pro for people who are more savvy investors. So yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely agree with that.
Nice. I totally agree too. That's actually where I get started.
Yeah.
It's really good. Great user interface. Great way to set up an account. Really easy to set up an account. Yeah. Easy to buy cryptocurrency. Easy to trade cryptocurrency. Easy to send cryptocurrency. So yeah, I agree. It's totally easy to set up everything, and the user interface is great.
Yeah.
So that was my last question. I'll throw it back to you, Michael.
Awesome. So that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, drop a like, hit the notification button as well, if you haven't already done so. Also, kindly leave some questions in the comments below so that we can try our best to answer them for you. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We will be on same time next week to give you the relevant information when you need it the most. Peace.
Keep your head up, tomorrow can be a better day. If you're looking to get some figures for better pay, invest in yourself, man, that is the only way. Get your clout up, 100K followers. How you do that, man? By not being a follower. How you get there, man? Hustling and bustling. Then you spice it up, put some brain muscle.